One of the great things about India is this tremendous interest in education. People talk about it all the time. Most parents aspire for this for their children. And so I think it's a great foundation we have as a country. In my experience growing up here, I think there's a lot of emphasis on, spending time on the books and, learning things academically. I think education needs to evolve and change just like with everything else. I think, working in the real world, I would say, it is important to be well-rounded. It's important to, try different things, take some risks. I would encourage people to, follow their passions a little bit more. All the great things about the Indian educational system, I think there's a lot of pressure to follow set lanes throughout your career. You're in high school, you're thinking about college. I get surprised people start preparing for IIT in their 8th grades, and that's a bit shocking to me. I hope as people are approaching things, they are really taking the time to doing things, understanding things deeper, learning by doing things. And I think it's important to remember it's a long road. Setbacks actually don't matter. I think a lot of times when I was younger, people would say, this person didn't get into this college or something, and that's the end of the road. I mean, life is so different from that. Keep your hopes, keep your dreams, and try to follow them. And I think most of how life plays out is up to you, not up to what happens outside of you. And I think it's important to keep that in mind and take the long-term view. Look, it's remarkable to be at IIT. There are many, many great people who don't make it in, and you will see this later in life. People do well from all walks of life. I think it's important to remember getting into an elite institution doesn't guarantee success. It matters a lot, but it doesn't guarantee success. And I think it's important to keep that perspective in life. And life is a long road, and so you want to take it at the right pace and enjoy what you're doing. I get very surprised. People come to IITs and immediately they are thinking about IIMs and so on. I think it's important to get real-world experience. And if you take the US, for example, at a place like Stanford, most students don't choose their majors till their final year. So people explore different things and find what they're really passionate about. So I think those are all good things to aspire to. I think I would like to see people value creativity, value experience of doing things, taking risks, and academics is important, but it is not as important as it's also made out to be. Had I stayed the course in graduate school, I'd probably have a PhD today, which would have made my parents really proud. But I might have missed the opportunity to bring the benefits of technology to so many others. And I certainly wouldn't be standing here speaking to you as Google's CEO. The only thing that got me from there to here, other than luck, was a deep passion for technology and an open mind. So take the time to find the thing that excites you more than anything else in the world. Not the thing your parents want you to do, or the thing that all your friends are doing, or that society expects of you. Yeah, I think that matters a lot. People should be encouraged to take risks a little bit more and try different things till they find what they like doing. One thing I've noticed over time is you will have many, many opportunities to reinvent yourself. And so, so I think, it's worthwhile taking risks and trying to do something you're really, excited by. And if the first attempt you don't do it, you can try again, and, things tend to work out in the long run. So that's the bar. So anything we try to do, we think of it that way. And so we aim high. And you want to aim high enough that you fail, a few times. I think that's the natural part of the process. In fact, Larry used to say, if you work on really difficult things, you're better off because you have no competition. Others aren't working on that difficult a problem. And even if you fail, you end up doing something great in the process. And so I think that's the philosophy which has guided us all through these years. In Silicon Valley, part of the reason so many people start up a company is, starting up a company and even having failed, you can wear it like a badge of honor, right? And I think that's important. Culturally, risk is rewarded. So it's a culture of optimism. It's a culture of risk-taking, and I think that's really important. So this is such an important issue for our company, but also for our country and for a community of entrepreneurs around the world. At Google, entrepreneurship is in our DNA. Google was founded here at Stanford, and the company's first home was in a garage just a couple miles from here. Like many of you in the audience, our founders were two young people with a vision of a better future, a better way, and they decided to follow their dreams. When I see entrepreneurs here, they seem no different to me than the kind of people I meet in the Valley. So intrinsically, I think India can do the same kinds of things. And the one good thing about India is I think, there's always been, whenever in India I used to walk around and go to some remote corner and find a tea stall, I always felt there is an entrepreneur there somewhere who saw that opportunity. So I think that streak has always existed. I think part of the problem is in India, the potential is there and the market is developing. I think it'll take a few more years for it to fully realize the potential. And so I'm absolutely confident of it. I think there's a timing issue, but I think we are growing well as a country. I think we need to stay at it, continue doing all these things, and it'll take a few more years and we'll get there. The trend lines are strongly in the favor. I think every year I can see the rate at which things are changing. So in about 3 to 4 years, I'm pretty convinced, at least in a 5 to 10 year time frame, that there will be big global, software companies coming out of India, and we will be very used to it. You're the ones building the next Google, the next Spotify, the next Tesla, the next, well, we don't even know, but what I know is that someone in this room will build it. One revolutionary idea, one brilliant invention can unleash other entrepreneurs to revolutionize industries in ways you could never predict. I remember reading about that and thinking, it's the idea that matters. It didn't matter where you come from or what your background is. I felt welcomed and embraced. People didn't care where I came from, only my ideas and hard work mattered. I'm not alone. I know how much hard work it takes to pursue a dream of building a business. The long hours, time away from family, the rejection, the ideas are brilliant that just don't seem to catch on. There is a great quote from Thomas Edison that does the best job of defining what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that don't work. I see hubs growing all over the world: Germany, Brazil, UK, Israel, China. The latest figures say that 21% of adults across 60 countries intend to start a business in the next 3 years. I'm absolutely convinced that India will be a global player in the digital economy, and it will be competitive with any country in the world. So I've always felt that, and I think it's important to follow your dream and do something which you're excited by. So I think if you follow your heart and do what you like, you will always do much better. And so I don't think it matters if you're an engineer or you're in science, or it could be in any field. There are many different ways you can approach things, and what matters most is loving what you're doing and trying to do well at it. So we're all looking to you. The world is counting on you, and we can't wait to see what you build next. Thank you.